Good evening, everyone. This is another episode of Ask the Coach, and it's with myself, Melanie Jacob from Narva Consulting, and we have.
Hi, good evening. Chris Elphick from Breadfruit Consulting.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us again in this session. We've been going through a lot of things already in the last session, so I'll give this time to Chris. Firstly, how was your day? How was your week?
The week's going really well. Last time we focused on the fact that we were 8 weeks out from the borders opening.
Right.
So now we're 7 weeks out from the borders opening. And last week we talked a lot about what sort of attitude we need. You remember we took this whole thing about being proactive. There's no doubt that it's been a difficult period, and businesses need to be ready to make the really best of the opportunities. To do that, you need to be proactive. So that was a lot of our focus, and it's attitude of mind, yeah? The difference between that or reactive, waiting for things to happen. And then the other thing we talked about last time was this whole thing about place, wasn't it? You know, getting our place ready wherever we work from, whether it's our bus or our shop or our market stall. You know, actually taking the opportunity to tidy things up, make it look a little bit nicer. Maybe make us feel a little bit different. So that was the focus. And I spent a bit of time in the last week just talking to people about these things. And I do think that while there's still a lot of negativity, people are realizing that come the 1st of July, it's well over 2 years since borders were open. So it's a big thing, yeah? And small businesses need to be in the best position.
Definitely. Thank you, Chris. That was a good summary. If you're watching and you were wondering what Ask the Coach is, we're brought to you live through Espresso. And Ask the Coach is a section in the Espresso magazine that features a communication between a coach and a business person, an entrepreneur. So today we will be going through planning. Like Chris said, it's been we're counting down, and it's now 7 weeks away from the borders opening. And part of what we have to do towards waiting for the borders to be open is to plan. And we've seen, like we mentioned in the previous episode, there's different mindset in approach to the situation that we went through. But what we are here encouraging you, people that are watching, is to have a plan in place. Excuse me. Yeah, really have a plan in place so that step by step you get to achieve. It's like a goal, right?
Yeah.
Setting smart goals.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about goals? Do you want to?
In a minute.
Okay.
I'll talk about planning first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll tell you a little story. I was listening. This is on a radio program in New Zealand, and it was about the impacts of COVID on business. And one of the business owners was saying, "Well, what's the point of planning?" Yeah, he was saying, "We make a plan, then along comes COVID, the borders close, there's no customers. What's the point of me planning? Because the plans just go out of the window anyway." Yeah. And I've heard people say that about, say, cyclones, yeah, or an earthquake. People say, "Well, why plan? Yeah? Because we're going to get a cyclone, and what can we do about that? We can't plan for it." Yeah. And I think it's interesting, isn't it? And for me, planning is around an attitude of mind again. Yeah. And there's a well-known phrase that talks about if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. And I think none of us can read the future. So yes, we can't actually plan for knowing that there's going to be a cyclone next week or whatever. But we can actually get ready so that we know what we will do if it comes. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I think this is the same with the borders opening. I've heard people say, well, we don't know how many customers we're going to get. We don't know how many tourists are going to come in. That's true. We don't. You know, there's a lot of staff not here. They're on RSE. True. But we either take a reactive view, yeah, and just do nothing, or we actually prepare. We get ready, yeah. And it may take a few months for lots of people to come back. But that gives us plenty of time to practice our plans, quite honestly. Yeah. So for me, planning isn't about writing a complicated business plan. I mean, my experience is the best plans are written on one sheet of paper, sometimes using sticky notes, you know, Post-it notes.
Yeah.
You can just see. But actually, what is a plan? It's a map, isn't it? It's a guide. Yeah.
Yeah. It is. And I like it how the last time we had a discussion, when you have so much things muddled up in your mind, it's best to, you know, take it out and put it either on a board,
Yeah.
or stick it up on sticky notes, like you said.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
So I think there's some key things for me around planning, yes? And planning has to start with knowing where I'm heading. Yeah, now that we might call that our dreams or our vision. Yeah, there's all sorts of language. We don't need to get too worried about the words there.
Yeah.
But where are we heading? You know, if we were going to go off and travel to around the world, we would have a clear picture in our heads, wouldn't we, of our destination? Yeah, that's where we're heading. And the same is true, I think, for business. You know, and yeah, everybody running a small business, what's the destination? What is it they want to achieve in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? Where are they actually heading?
Very important. It's so important that I see it as, we're talking about planning towards borders opening, but it's the whole idea of planning is something that we all need to develop ourselves in, because we've seen in small businesses as well, the ones that we've been coaching.
Yeah.
Take them right from the beginning and, you know, let them identify where they're going.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, think about it in terms of a family. Yeah?
Yeah.
Parents do it in terms of their kids, don't they? Yeah. And they're having children. They've got a picture in their mind of what they hope their kids are going to do. Yeah. Maybe they hope they're going to become a lawyer or anything. Yeah. And then they help put in place some planning. Yeah. And are we going to open the doors on the 1st of July with no destination in mind? Or are people actually going to say, no, this is where we're going. This is where we're heading. Does that make sense?
yes,
You know, I think it's really, really important. Yeah.
very important. Yeah. So planning, it's you just have to sit down. It's nothing complicated. Just sit down and, you know, like Chris said, just take out one by one. What do you want to achieve? What are the little milestones that will make you achieve the bigger goal in front of you?
Yeah. I mean, you've been with me on when we've done training around planning, and I always use this image of the big wide river.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, planning is a picture of the far side of the river. Where am I heading? What do I want it to be like? Yeah. Then I come to the near side of the river, which is where I'm starting from. So now we're starting from exactly a position which has been affected by COVID and all the rest of it. That's where we're starting from. But that doesn't stop us having our dreams. And then basically, people like us as coaches, I think our job is to help people get across that river. Yeah? It's to help people put in place the financial steps they need, what they need in terms of their staff, in their products, their markets, remembering all the time that they're heading towards a goal, something they've set their destination. So it becomes so planning isn't anything really to do with writing something down. It's an active process.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you think of it about as writing something, it's going to be really complicated for some people, but it's an action thing, right?
It is. I mean, one of the things I find with, say, a lot of business training is people go courses. They go and learn to write a business plan.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people listening and watching have been part of workshops of those where they've written a business plan, and what happens to it? It gets left in the computer, it gets put in a drawer, or it's 56 pages long and no one uses it. Now, what's the point of that? Yeah, this has to be about practical steps to help people get to the destination that they want. Yeah? Yeah. So if they're running a handicraft business because they want to create an income for themselves and their family, and they want to employ members of their friends and family, if that's what they're trying to do, then that's where they're heading. Yeah? Then it's about putting in place the steps you need to do that. Then we probably do need to write it down.
Yeah.
But as I said earlier on, for me, a single page can often do the trick, yeah? Because it just reminds us. And also, writing something down allows us to share it with others. Does that make sense?
Yes,
yeah. If it's in my head, I can't share it easily.
Yeah.
And that's planning, really, isn't it? It's about where am I going, where am I starting from, and how on earth am I going to get there? You know, and we have to be prepared to change direction, don't we? Yeah. We're going across this river, and along comes a cyclone. We can't keep going forward. We're going to have to maybe go backwards, to the left, to the right. Yeah. And that's planning, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a day-to-day thing. I mean, women who run families plan every day, don't they? Yeah? You know, and they're planning constantly. And the kids are sick in the morning, they can plan what they're going to do about it, and so on. Yes. I should have said people that run families, not just women.
We do it all the time.
But I think that's absolutely true. I think it is done all the time, and I think women are much better at. Personally, they're much better at it than men. You know, but it is done all the time. But we don't always relate that to business. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
But you know, I mean, most people are in small businesses because they want to take charge of their own lives. They want to create their own futures. And good planning is going to help them get there. Keep going.
Thank you, Chris. So along the process of the sessions that we're going through, we've been talking about quite a number of P's, right? So the first one we went through was positive, and then we went through proactive, place, and now we're on planning. There's a whole lot of other lists of P's that we will be going through. There's people, there's pricing, there's procedures, there's profit, there's product, and there's promotions. All these things will be covered in our coaching sessions as we go through. And also, we have some programs as well that are being broadcasted through Espresso, and every day of the week there's programs that are coming out. And we have Monday with Yumigo Digital with Espresso. Tuesday, it's all the programs are coming out at 6 p.m. So if you are following the page, or if you haven't followed the page, please do follow the page to be part of the programs that are coming out. So on Tuesday there's Spotlight, and Wednesday there's Sports Mag. Spotlight is another episode that an entrepreneur or a business will be on the spotlight. And if you are watching Ask the Coach now, we're talking about some of the we're coaching in terms of businesses, but during the during the spotlight session, there will be actual businesses coming out to showcase their businesses, and that's what we love doing, because it helps these people come out and showcase their businesses.
Sure.
And it's also part of preparing themselves towards the opening of the borders. Yeah, that's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, there's the Sports Mag. And Thursday, Ask the Coach, that like we're doing now. And Friday, we have the TGIF show. So,
Great.
yeah, if all these programs are, preparing, I hope it's preparing the people that are watching for the borders opening and getting themselves, hyped up and being hungry for business and ready for the borders to be open. And we also have a free coaching session.
We do. Shall I say a bit more
Yes,
about that?
yes.
So I think it's a Tuesday, 31st of May, last day in May, up at Yumi Work in Lolland House. The whole day, we will be providing free coaching for anyone who has their own small business. It's aimed at people who need a little bit of support and help to get going again. Yeah. We realize that these last few months have been quite difficult for a lot of people. It hasn't been very good for a lot of businesses money-wise. A lot of people have struggled. And now maybe a little bit of support from a coach is going to help them. And this is the sort of thing that we can do with people, yeah? And maybe we can help people identify their next step in their plan. And they can go away from that day. So that day on the 31st will be open. Just turn up, come along, bring other people with you. And there'll be a team of us there who are all part of the VLab coaching team. And we'll be there to help. And it's free. And if a lot of people come and there's a need, we'll do another one. But my view is the more we can help especially the small business economy move itself forward, that's going to be hugely important for the country. But it's also going to be important, isn't it, for the attitudes of the visitors.
Yeah.
When they come back and they see that the bus drivers and the taxi drivers and the people running the small resorts and people selling things are actually geared up and positive and moving forward and pleased to see everybody, that's going to be a good message that they take back to where they come from.
Nice one. Thank you, Chris. So if you're running a taxi business or a handicraft business or any small business and you're watching now, Yusave number 31 May, look at some free coaching session. We've been advertising free coaching sessions that through VBRC, and now it's another free session again. And I'm encouraging Nivans, Fright, look out and help. Then when you come out of comfort zone with me, when we go to seek help, that's when we will get it. But if we sit back and just wait for somebody to come and help us, it's not going to happen. So yes, like Sarah mentioned in her spotlight interview, you have to take the step to go forward and look for the solution to your business. So I believe it's timely that these coaching sessions happen, and please make the most of it. Use this opportunity to build yourself up, and yes.
And what's the P word that we use to describe all that?
Proactive.
Absolutely.
Be proactive.
It is. And it's a behavior. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So thank you, everyone, again. If you are looking for business coaching, Chris is there. His contact, I'm sure it's running on the screen. So you can reach out to Chris for your business coaching. He has his contact on the screen. Right, Chris?
Yeah, please do. Yes. And if you want good coaching, particularly around your financials and financial management of your business, talk to Valini. And hopefully your details are on the screen. Yeah?
Definitely. Hope to see you all on the 31st of May. But we'll catch up on our next session on Thursday.
Absolutely.
See you.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye-bye.